In this video, we're going to be drafting a full cold email campaign from scratch. And so we're going to review a past campaign. We're going to iterate on the script that was working and then add a new split test as well. Then I'm going to show you how to scrape pretty much any type of Google Maps leads for free. And then we're going to verify it, enrich the list, add some cool new angles, and then assemble the campaign. So to start, I already have the ICP. We're going to be targeting, actually no, this is going to be advertising agencies. And so this is a maps query. Here we go, advertising agencies, US list link, that doesn't really matter. And to start, we're going to go into my current instantly, and this is the campaign that we're running right now. Getting decent results. The positive reply rate could be higher. Let's see, without out of office. It's okay, but we could get better results with an offer like this. And so what I'll do always is if I win in campaign, right, it's doing decent. These are hitting KPI. I'm going to copy the script that we're running. And so if you want to see the script, you can just pause the video and watch this now. But I'm going to copy the script, Control-Shift-V to paste without formatting, and paste it in. And that's going to be one of the split tests that we run. And then we're going to run this against something. So for split test, this is the full doc that we use to draft out any campaign or whatever for our clients. So if you want this, you can just message me and I'll send it to you for free. So with split test, I'm going to put winning script, and then we'll write another. Okay, and then we'll write another split test for something else. So right here, I usually put the follow-ups beside each other and the scripts beside each other. All right, and follow-up A, we'll do the follow-up that we were. A lot of the times it makes it easier. A lot of the times we'll only do one follow-up because they're a lot more simple to write, and so it's easy to get them right on the first try. But yeah, if we look at the analytics of the campaign, because sometimes, right, you'll have a first script that does really well and the follow-up doesn't even do that much, and you can't really see that from the overall campaign analytics. So it's good to actually look at the campaign and see, okay, the first script is getting a good reply rate, good positive reply rate. The other script we tested didn't really do too well in terms of positive replies. And then the second script, the follow-up script, did pretty good in terms of metrics as well. So those are fine. And I'm actually interested. Let's look at the two scripts we ran because they're quite similar. Let's look at the difference. So this script is saying, hey, I can hand you deals. You pay a percentage of their value. And then this script is, I can do both calls. You just pay for the ones that are qualified. So we'll keep that in mind for scripting this. And I'll write it without spin tax, so it's easier to read. So for script B, I'll always keep the subject line the same to make sure that's an isolated variable. So I'm not sure. First name. Usually it's pretty simple. You don't have to do too much for that. And then let's look at this. So it's saying, hey, first name. I'm not sure or don't know if you even have the need for this, but I could do this for you. Would that be worth a talk? P.S. We do this for ICP, so let's change this to advertising agencies to close, sign 2 to 5 extra deals a month. Okay. I want to frame this offer. I want to try framing this offer in a different way, and we're going to keep this same structure. Let's put that into script B. Let's paste it in, and I'm just going to add more spin tax. Hi, hello. So we spin tax everything heavy. What spin tax is, I guess, is if you don't know this. So what spin tax is let's do it here. Whenever you're writing something, you put what you're writing inside these double curly brackets, and then you add a line in between, and then you can write something else. And what instantly does is it picks a random one of those like variables and puts it into the script, so that every time it might say like not sure if you have this or don't know if you have the need for this. And it just makes every email that you send slightly different, which helps for deliverability. And really, deliverability is tough at scale. So anything that can help deliverability, it's very important to do, especially low-hanging fruit like this. So hi, hey, hello, first name. I'm going to add that to the top one as well. Hi, hey, hello, first name. Not sure, don't know if you have the need for this, but so we're going to keep that, and then we're gonna change this, and then from okay, I'm just gonna break down the script. Right now we have hi first name, which is the intro or whatever. Not sure if you even have the need for this, but this is the hook. So it's hook is to start it, and then it's offer, which is I can hand you deals, and then risk reversal, but you just pay me a percentage of their value, and then you have CTA. Would that be worth a chat? So what we're gonna do is we are going to rewrite just the offer, and we're going to split test to see if we can frame the offer in a better way. And what's important about this is that right now, so this is offering like pay per call cold email. Right now, this is offering pay per call cold email, but it's framing it as I can hand you deals, you just pay me a percentage of their value. So it's not gonna grab the best intent. The intent is a little bit off, and you kind of have to reframe that. And sometimes you have a metric drop as well from there, where the leads aren't as qualified as you'd like them to be. So I want to write a new script that might get less leads, but grabs better intent. So let's see. Not sure if you even have the need for this, but I could fill your calendar with sales calls. So that's the offer. I could fill your calendar with sales calls. Yeah, you could. So you could just easily say I could book you 10, 20 calls a month, and it's pay per call. But I ran that a lot, and I found that I think a lot of people have been running that. So it a pattern interrupt will help, and we'll see that. I mean, I might also just run. I think I've ran this before, and this performed better. So you won't run this as a split test, but I'm gonna reframe it in a different way, which is I could fill your calendar with sales calls, and you only pay for, let's just write on performance basis. That's worked well for me before. So I can fill your calendar with sales calls on a performance basis. Pretty straightforward, but it's a bit of a pattern interrupt. Let's see how that shows. And let's look at this compared to the past script that didn't work. I can hand you booked calls, and you just pay for the ones that are qualified. Okay, it's similar, but it's a bit different. And this one we only ran. Let's see how much we ran this one for. 800 leads. Yeah. Okay. Let's see if this works then. I'm not sure. It might not work too well because it seems like people really just want like rev share, which is annoying. But we'll try this. I can fill your calendar with sales calls on a performance basis. Yeah, let's see if that works. It's also a slightly different ICP. Those were consultants, and this is advertising agencies. So, hey, hello, first name, not sure if you even have a need for this, but I could fill your calendar with sales calls on performance basis, CTA. And then let's just spin taxes. So I can fill your, might take away sales calls just for spam words. So that's another thing for deliverability. For deliverability is words that seem spammy can get you flagged more as well. So if you say words like revenue, sales, guarantee, percentage, you can say a couple of those words in the copy, but you want to minimize it. So calls, appointments, meetings. On a performance on yeah, let's do it on a performance basis. Will it be worth the talk? And then I also want to split test this PS line. So we outsource lead gen and spin test this as well. Lead gen for advertising agencies. I like calling out the the ICP. I find that really helps. Yeah, so let's do a script B or a script C. And that's just going to be script A. We're going to split test the PS line. So instead of we outsource lead generation for advertising agencies, let's just take this away and just see what that does. See how well the PS lines actually work. And for split tests here, I find it's always very helpful, especially once you found something that works a little bit. For your split tests, to be split testing with intention. So the first split test that we did, we're split testing the offer framing. We're not actually doing a different offer. We're framing the offer differently. So I write offer framing, and then the third split test is just PS line. It is also important to not just get hung up on one script. So I will just write completely new scripts sometimes as well. But this script got good KPIs, and so until this stops performing, it doesn't make sense for me to stop juicing it, right? Because if I try something new, the likelihood that that works is way less than just running this script right here. So that's going to be our three main first sequence scripts. And then, you know what, let's just do this. Let's have these all go in a line, and then right here, holding that, we'll put the follow-ups. Oh, here we go. The follow-up A, and then we're just going to do 2 split tests for the follow-ups. So follow-up B. So now we have script A, B, C, and the follow-up A, B. This would be for if I'm changing the script as the campaign is running, so like a version 2 split test, but we're not going to do that right now. So follow-up A, first name, I will fill your calendar. You just pay per qualified all showed meeting. Sound good. You know what? We could almost just put this. Okay, if I caught that earlier, we probably would just put this as the offer for the script B, but I'm just going to keep it how it is, and we might do that for the next split test for the version 2. This one we could just test, right? Because this is similar to just the script B offer. We could test the script A offer as the follow-up. So, hand you deals, you just pay a percentage of their value. See how that works. First name, I'll hand you deals, and you just pay, and you, I don't like pay me, and you just pay, and you only, we'll keep it just, because sometimes we do a text stack and people don't like when you say only. So, hey, I'll hand you deals, and you just pay a percentage of their value. I think that's good for the scripting for the campaign. So this is what we're going to be running for our campaign. And now let's go get that lead list. So this is a crazy good website right here. It's called mtoss.com. And this website is absolutely crazy. I don't understand how he gives away this much. And there's just pages and pages of free leads. So a lot of them, they don't have emails attached. But if you go to leads with emails, or if you go to leads with emails, then there's a ton right here, and it shows how many emails there are. And then there's 6 more pages of emails that are freshly scraped, and these leads perform well too. I've gone above 5% reply rates from some of these large lists at scale, so it's absurd. I already found a list, because there's so many, I didn't want to scroll through them in the video, but I already found a list of, it was around here. Let's see. Here it is. So I bought this list of advertising agencies. The ones with emails are $1, but you can trust them. They're insane, and they're definitely worth $1 for 53,000 leads. Please just don't buy this list and copy everything I do and send to them, because it's not going to work, because I've already sent to them, and by the time this video comes out, they'll have already gotten these emails, and they're just going to mark you spam. All right, my loom cut out, but after we get this list, I already bought it, then we're going to go and open it in Google Sheets just so we can actually look at the data. So I like to look at a couple websites. Let's see what type of people we're targeting. All right, so Brandon Print Studio, services. So it's good to see. This is, I'd say, the right type of business, but I wouldn't want to target them. See this. Snowcrest Digital, web design development. That sounds pretty good. Okay, another for that. Mobile builds websites, generate local SEO. That's decent. That's a decent offer. SEO. All right. Yeah, so it looks decent. But we might want to thin this list down a little bit. So what I like to do is look at the categories here. So this is a graphic designer. I don't like to target creative agencies, so we can remove that easily. Website designer, that's fine. internet marketing service, marketing agency, sign shop. We're definitely not going to want to target a sign shop. So I find that these main categories and also just the categories list it's like the keywords list if you're just creating Apollo. So it's really powerful to be able to have like a list of actual categories for each lead, and we're going to use ChatGPT to enrich this list a bit more. So let's just look at the categories that we like. So I like web designer. It's all right. We'll keep it in there. We'll target web designers. Internet marketing service, that's good. Marketing agency is good. Sign shop, definitely not good. Commercial printer, yeah, this isn't good. Banner store, that's not the best. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna first upload this list into ChatGPT. Yeah, and it's a large list, so we can afford to thin it down a little bit. And our prompt will be remove any creative or look through the categories column for each lead and remove any creative lead that doesn't marketing or advertising. All right, that should narrow it down. That should get out the sign shops. Web design, not the best outbound offer, so we'll get those out as well. Yeah, let's see what that does, and then tell me how many you removed. Let's see how good it does. All right, that's good. We removed about 40% of the leads. Not bad at all. We probably could have saved some of those, but because it's a large list, I'm completely fine with that. And then from here, what I want to add to the script now that we actually have the list is a niche offer. We're going to place that somewhere in here. So, as I was saying about enriching the list, what we can do is go into categories, and here we see like internet marketing service, advertising agency, business management consulting, web hosting company. They have some specific stuff on what they offer. Let's see if there's any other data points we can attack. Just spending on ads. No, we're not really getting much there. Description. I'm not really liking that. Yeah, the categories is the main unique data points we have. So let's see. So I'll be like, now look into the categories column for each lead and return a niched offer, a niched version of specific version of their offer. Let's see what that does. I've used this strategy for a bunch of different campaigns, and it usually gets a pretty good result because it builds a lot of relevancy and just makes your targeting more one-to-one, right? It's an extra data point that's specific to the company or more specific to the company that you can target. All right, let's see what it does. Niche offer. Businesses looking for web design, internet marketing, marketing agencies. Okay, I'll say, yes, that's great. Now do this for every lead and add a column called niche offer. Now do this for every lead and add a column called niche offer with this. Let's see. Running ads, marketing, doing SEO. So for the script, let's go back to the script just so that we can make sure we know exactly how we want this said. So for here, I'm going to add, I can fill your calendar with calls that need niche offer, that need or that are looking for niche offer. So I would say, but make the offer. Hopefully that works. All right, this looks pretty good. So like SEO help, ads run, marketing help, a website build, graphic design, branding, SEO, media, social media manage. This is pretty good. We're gonna download this file and just do a quick check and make sure that it looks good for all leads. Okay, I just did a little bit more back and forth with the GPT just to show you my conversation if you really want to like slow this down and watch it. But it doesn't really matter. We narrowed it down to 11,000 leads, and that was removing all of the, let me find it here. Where is this? removing all of the at info, hello at, contact at, etc. Making sure it's only people who are doing marketing, advertising, coaches, consultants, and agencies. There was no duplicates, which is good. And now it's only 11,000 leads from the 50,000. So you might be thinking like, wow, now you only have 20% of the full list that you start off with, but we probably could have kept more like 50%. But I only really want to do a campaign of about 8,000 people. So this is fine. I'm happy. Like, I'm wasting the rest of the leads because it is wasting them, but we can find more very easily. So it's completely fine. And then a lot of the time, when we looked at the niche offer, pretty much everything just said either marketing help or running ads. So I literally just said, great, now for the niche offer, add a little bit more variance. And as you can see, there's a lot more variance now. And then it even said, you can add a second personalization column with pain points, like not ranking on Google. And this will make it like super specific to a large list, but I don't really want to use that in the script. And this is complete BS. It won't give you a 2 to 3x in reply rate. So here's the script here's the list as an opened, so here's the list as a Google file. And now you can see help with our marketing, better marketing ads run, help running ads, marketing strategy, media, better ad campaigns. So now, from one perspective, deliverability, every single email is going to look a lot different with the spin tax and this variable, as well as I think that this is decently specific to who we're running paid ads management, someone to run ads or someone to handle marketing. I think that this is going to be pretty decent, and you can even get more niche if you really get a good list of categories for each business. So we're just going to upload this list into Million Verifier, verify it, download only good emails, and then upload it into Instantly. So I'll see you there. All right, so as that list is verifying, I'm just going to show you how I create and organize my campaigns. So just add a new campaign in the top right, and then I'll always name it by the lead list we're targeting. So this is going to be advertising. Just going to put like advert like there, agencies. Shorten it so we can see it from the main view of when we're looking at this. And then maps, because they're Google Maps leads. If it's from Apollo, I'll just put like the employee count, or if it's from Sales Navigator, I'll put like SNAV employee count, and then how many leads there are. So I'm assuming maybe like 5K. And then also, are they Google leads or are they MS leads? And that's important so that we can see how deliverability is going for inbox into Google and inbox into Microsoft. So continue, create. We'll add the lead list when we get it, and I'll show you how we split that with the Google and MS. Then also, after we put in everything, we're going to duplicate this and put MS instead of G. So now we're just going to copy in all of our sequences. Schedule, we send on Saturdays from 9 to 6 Eastern. I'll just save that. And then options, we are going to use batch, I think it's batch 3B and 3C. That's just internally. Use whatever inbox you're using. Daily sending volume, I think it's about 2,000. I'm not sure. I'll double check that. Time gap between emails, I'll put like 30 and 5. We're sending like about 12 emails per day per inbox right now for Google inboxes. And then, deliverability is decent. We might be able to ramp it up to about 15 or 20. And then stop and auto reply. We're not going to do company reply stop because they can't really check that for the maps leads. And that is good for sending. All right, so now when the list is ready, I've already pasted in the sequences and I'll paste in the list. All right, the list is verified. You got 8.2 thousand leads and all the scripts are uploading ready. Sending the next message after 2 days is the follow-up. From here, what I do with all my campaigns is, so now everything's ready, everything's done. We'll go out and we'll duplicate the campaign, name it like 3K, I'm assuming, and then MS, delete this, click duplicate campaign. Then we go into the Google campaign. We go to leads and we go filters, lead ESP, we'll go Microsoft, and then click out, hold this, select all, and then up here, move to campaign, and then we'll do advertising agencies MS. Okay, so it's only 1,400 Microsoft leads, which is kind of good because usually, right now, Microsoft inbox into Microsoft is pretty difficult, so we might find lower metrics there. Then go to campaign, and I'll just rename these super quickly. and then these should be ready to launch. So before I launch, I always just preview the sequences, select a couple leads, and make sure that it all makes sense. Hi. Okay, I'm not sure why I'm not getting the first name variable here. Let's see what's wrong with that. Looks like the first name wasn't uploaded. That's weird. Oh, right. Okay, that's important. These are Google Maps leads, so don't have first name. See, that's important. That's why we double check. So let's remove that in all of the copy. And then I'll also remove that in my drafting so we have everything tracked properly. Okay, good that we did that. Now everything's updated. Hello, if you have need to this, but I can hand you deals, use pay percent of the value, my other work the compensation. All right, and I'm just giving you literally every script we're running right now to get me clients. Don't know if you have needs for this, but I can fill your calendar with appointments, performance pages. Looks good. And then this one's just the same as the other one, but without the PS line. Looks good as well. All right. Let me just put high bars there. There we go. Sweet. So everything's ready to launch. We'll go launch this right now. Launch anyways, publish campaign. And now this is literally everything that I do to run the cold email campaigns. They get pretty good results if you look at my past ones and the current ones we're running. But after you launch it, now go into subsequences. And I'm just going to duplicate and just do the subsequence that we're running right now. I'll click into that. Honestly, this definitely could be optimized, but it literally just sends my calendar link a couple times after, and we do get leads from this, so it's worth doing. But yeah, that's definitely something we could optimize and test to see what works best. But still, definitely always run subsequences. Make sure that you have some sort of positive reply follow-up going. Duplicate that and have that going. And that is it. That is a full cold email campaign build. Relatively simple. I'm not sure how long this video will be, probably around 30, 40 minutes. But yeah, if you need help with this, if you're building a cold email campaign and you're facing some issues, shoot me a text or drop a YouTube comment. Like shoot me a text on X or drop a comment on this video and I'll help you out. And if you want me to run campaigns for you, then just book a call or text me as well, but booking a call is better. And we'll talk soon.